Okay, the amount of times and time that I've spent trying to get this perfect. Okay, so hey guys, so I want to talk about overcoming overthinking. I almost said anxiety, but it's related. This guy that I'm talking to, what his advice is for like overthinking, and he's like, just live in the moment. Don't think too far ahead. If you get too far ahead, you'll miss out on what could be. He's kind of a cheesy person, but whatever. Overthinking has been something that I've struggled with a lot in my life. I mean, from as far as I can remember, I've been an overthinker, and I've been the kind of person that, like, it's kind of funny because I say that I'm the kind of person that is the kind of person that goes with the flow and whatever, and I try to, but I think when it comes to, like, I feel like as I get older, I just overthink things even more, and I thought that by this age, honestly, I thought that, oh god, I'm getting hot, that it wouldn't be a big deal, or at least I thought that I would have handled it by now, or at least found a way to cope with it better. But I think, like, any kind of mental illness, depression, anxiety, you know, the list goes on and on. I do think overthinking is, I mean, I feel like mental illness, I feel like from a psychological standpoint, I kind of see mental illness as interesting, of course, but for me personally, like, I don't like to think of myself in that context. Like, I don't like to say that, oh my god, I have a mental illness. Like, it just sounds, but I guess in some ways, I feel like 20 years ago, mental illness wasn't even, like, seen as anything. It was just like, oh, you have mental illness? Like, do you also have, like, some, like, phobia of being in front of a big pink elephant or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like people were making things up or something 20 years ago. That's what people thought anyways. And nowadays, it's, of course, changed a lot, which is a good thing. Like, I feel like the stigma of mental illness is lessening, which is really good. And I might seem like on this channel, I might come off as a really positive person, which I try to be as positive as possible when it comes to life in general. Even though I've gone through a lot of things in my life, I've lost a lot of people, I've been through really hard times in my life, 100%. And I've been through a lot of hard times within the last, like, 6 months, to be honest. And I haven't really shown you guys a lot of that stuff, which is kind of ironic also for me, because I want to be honest with you guys, but at the same time, it's hard to know what to share on here and what to not share on here. So, yeah. But this is me sharing my affliction, as some may call it, with overthinking, which some people might think, well, what is overthinking? I'm actually gonna Google it, because why not? Because there's probably a definition somewhere. Why not? Why not? Overthinking. Okay. The definition of overthinking. Okay. Definition. Think about something too much or for too long. Oh, yes. He doesn't make snap decisions, but he doesn't overthink either. That is definitely me in a freaking nutshell. Okay, we're gonna look at Psych Today has 6 tips to stop overthinking, I should say. Okay. Whether they beat themselves up over a mistake they made yesterday or fret about how they're going to succeed tomorrow, overthinkers are plagued by distressing thoughts, and their inability to get out of their own heads leaves them in a state of constant anguish. Fuck yeah. While everyone overthinks things once in a while, some people just can't ever seem to quiet the constant barrage of thoughts. Their inner monologue includes 2 destructive thought process patterns: ruminating and worrying. Oh my god, yeah, probably. Ruminating involves rehashing the past. I shouldn't have spoken up in the meeting today. Everyone looked at me like I was an idiot. I could have stuck it out at my old job. I would have been happier if I would have just stayed there. I definitely think this way. Worrying involves negative, often catastrophic predictions about the future. I'm going to embarrass myself tomorrow. When I give that presentation, my hands will shake, my face will turn red, and everyone will see that I'm incompetent. I'll never get promoted. It doesn't matter what I do. It's not going to happen. My spouse is going to find someone better than I am. I'm going to end up divorced and alone. Overthinkers don't just use words to contemplate their lives. Sometimes they conjure up images too. They may envision their car going off the road or replay a distressing event in their minds like a movie. Either way, their tendency to overthink everything holds them back from doing something productive. Fuck yeah. The dangers of overthinking. Thinking too much about things isn't just a nuisance. It can take a serious toll on your well-being. Oh god. Research finds that dwelling on your shortcomings, mistakes, and problems increases your risk of mental health problems. And as your mental health declines, your tendency to ruminate increases, leading to a vicious cycle that is hard to break. Studies also show that overthinking leads to serious emotional distress. To escape that distress, many overthinkers resort to unhealthy coping strategies such as alcohol or food. Yeah, sometimes I probably do that. If you're an overthinker, you likely already know you can't sleep when your mind won't shut off. Studies confirm this, finding that rumination and worry lead to fewer hours of sleep and poorer sleep quality. Sometimes I do feel like I do get less sleep because I overthink. How to stop overthinking. Putting an end to rehashing, second-guessing, and catastrophic predictions is easier said than done. But with consistent practice, you can limit your negative thinking patterns. 1. Notice when you're thinking too much. Awareness is the first step in putting an end to overthinking. Start paying attention to the way you think. When you notice yourself replaying events in your mind over and over, or worrying about things you can't control, acknowledge that your thoughts aren't productive. Number 2, challenge your thoughts. It's easy to get carried away with negative thoughts before you conclude that calling in sick is going to get you fired or that forgetting one deadline is going to cause you to become homeless. Acknowledge that your thoughts may be exaggeratedly negative. Learn to recognize and replace thinking errors before they work you into a complete frenzy. 3. Keep your focus on active problem solving. Dwelling on your problems isn't helpful. But looking for solutions is. Ask yourself what steps you can take to learn from a mistake or avoid a future problem. Instead of asking why something happened, ask yourself what you can do about it. Number 4, schedule time for reflection. Stewing on problems for long periods of time isn't productive, but brief reflection can be helpful. Thinking about how you could do things differently or recognizing potential pitfalls to a plan, for example, can help you do better in the future. Incorporate 20 minutes of thinking time into your daily schedule. During this time, let yourself worry, ruminate, or mull over whatever you want. Then when the time is up, move on to something more productive. Where was I? Something popped up on my screen. When you notice yourself overthinking things outside of your scheduled time, remind yourself that you'll think about it later. Number 5. Practice mindfulness. It's impossible to rehash yesterday or worry about tomorrow when you're living in the present. Commit to becoming more aware of the here and now. Mindfulness takes practice, like any other skill, but over time, it can decrease overthinking. 6. Change the channel. Telling yourself to stop thinking about something can backfire. The more you try to avoid the thought from entering your brain, the more likely it is to keep popping up. Damn thought. Busying yourself with an activity is the best way to change the channel. Yeah, that's when I exercise, engage in a conversation on a completely different subject, or get working on a project that will distract your mind from a barrage of negative thoughts. I think that's why I've been exercising every day because that's just my routine. But I've also been doing more yard work, which I've also heard definitely diminishes like stress and like.
So yeah, helps. That is it, folks. Oh yeah. Yeah, I need a bookmark that bitch. No wait. Oh. Bookmark. I don't care. Fine.
I mean, for me, I definitely think the things that I do are definitely keeping busy really helps me with overthinking. And also I would say working out and just like, I feel like the main thing that I think honestly trying to live in the present, like they said in the list, living in the present and not thinking about the past or the future. Oh my god, I'm trying to really work on that, because I'm definitely the kind of person that thinks about the past and the future way too much. Like, just be in the moment, and like I don't know where this quote is from, but you know, all we can do is make the best choices or decisions we can with the information given. I feel like that's like a quote from somebody. I want to say Dumbledore, but I might be wrong about that, so yeah. I mean, it's definitely something that I'm gonna, you know, I might be dealing with this for many, many years to come, but I think I love Psychology Today. I used to actually buy their magazines at the grocery store, and I haven't bought one in a while, but that's because most of the ones that I've seen at the grocery store haven't really interested me. I can't say things right now. But yeah, so yeah. But yeah, I feel like the advice that that guy gave me is true. I feel like he's a very simple person, but yeah, I think the main key is to just stay busy, not let those thoughts get, like, I've definitely been overthinking a lot of things lately, but I think I just have to I just thought of this, like, I should give myself like a time limit to make decisions, like how like if I need to make a decision about dinner, for example, you know, give myself 5 minutes or even less than that just to make the decision. And then, like, you know, when that time, like, runs out, of course, then, you know, whatever decision I made is the decision I made. So that could be another thing for me to kind of think about. But yeah, I think, you know, it's a struggle. It's a real struggle to, for me, it's just, I don't want to make the wrong decision. I think that's the main thing that makes me such an overthinker and a worrier, and I definitely ruminate and worry about the decisions I make sometimes, and I know that at the end of the day, most of the decisions I'm making on a daily basis are not life-threatening. Like, it's not like if I, you know, and it's not like if I make the wrong decision, I'll regret it and hate myself forever. Like, most decisions, if you're not happy with it, you can change it, you know, somehow. So I feel like I have to remind myself that, like, nothing, like, everything is temporary. My grandpa used to say that phrase all the time, and me and my dad say it all the time, and everything is temporary, you know. And if I live my life, if I continue to live my life in this way of, like, overthinking things, and like it said in the list on Psychology Today, like, it's not gonna help me have a happy life. It's not gonna help my mental health either, and it's gonna just, you know, put me into a spiral of madness someday, which I don't want. And I don't really want to be the kind of person that goes into therapy someday, which, if you guys want me to do a video talking about therapy, I would be interested to talk to you guys about that, because I do have opinions on both sides of the spectrum on therapy. So, but yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys about overthinking, since it's definitely something that is in my brain. Got those devil horns, and they're called overthinking. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This looks weird. I'm gonna put my arms down. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!